Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my Skylines series Flying Zhengang. In the last episode, we built the first residence housing and the first apartments, and today we are back at building highways. As you can see, I'm still using the highways from Ronnie, but we will be switching them between this and the next episode. So the next time when you will see a video of this series, there will already be another one, I think. I think they're the Shuko expressways or something like them they are called, and I will be using them for these areas. I will be also using CSUR later on, but for CSUR I still have to learn quite a lot and I'm not that good with it, so I'm just testing around quite a bit, and we will just use them for now for some main roads and stuff like this. We will later on trying to build some highway and expressways for our city with them. So what you can see me in the background is just considering and figuring out where the whole downtown is, where the streets will go, and how this whole area will look like. This is just an idea right now, so this will be switched later on, but it will be kinda like this. So this is my plan, to get it like this and just kind of have a shape that is in some kind of look like this whole thing. And yes, this is basically the main goal for today, to get a new highway connection in and also just to figure out a bit where things will go. So here's the new highway intersection and also kind of crossing later on. And I thought about a quite cool idea that I saw on Google Maps today. There was an highway exit with two roundabouts. One was for going on the highway and the other one was for going on the highway. And I thought, yeah, this is a good idea. I just wanted to have something like this in my city because it looks kind of cool and you can detail it quite easily with some nature, with some bushes and some trees. So at first I was just configuring and considering which size I should take, and it turned out that the best one would be something kind of small, but I think it is quite enough for the time being. And actually right now they are kind of useless because we just have one highway there, but there will be another highway going over this highway and then it will make sense once again. But for now it's extremely useless to have two whole roundabouts there. So for configuring this, I thought I would do something like this. There, get them in the same length and just get the placement right for them, that is looking like they are just kind of symmetrical. Yes, this whole thing is basically symmetrical, so this is something that I wanted to achieve there, and I think it turned out pretty well. Therefore, going off the roundabout and off the highway too, I had to kind of configure this a bit, and this turned out very good, I think, and it is looking very smooth. But this was kind of a struggle for me at some points, but I'm very happy with how it turned out in the finals. Wait, I just had to think. No, I think I was right. One is for going on and one is for going off. So it's kind of useless until now to have on both ways an entry and exit, but this will be done in the next episode. So don't be afraid, this will be switched later on. And the goal for this whole thing was it should be kind of looking like a flowing intersection. It should be looking very natural with a lot of curves and not so many straight parts, and I'm very happy with it because we're having kind of a straight thing there on top with the expressway, but it is breaking up with the highway exits, and this was kind of a goal that I wanted to have and that I think turned out very well. This whole thing is just expandable. This was also something that I wanted to achieve, that this whole thing can be expanded at any point in the series. So when we are saying we need 4 lanes there, we can just upgrade it easily. And this was also my main goal, because then we just have to move a street to the side and then it's finished already again. And this is something that I think that will be very handy later on when we have a lot of traffic coming into our city. We're going with something kind of very simple for the detailing. It is just in the middle of a park, I'm sorry. The reason for this is that I think this would be kind of a cool place for a park to be in a city, because it would be lost space for the city or the government, because you can't place a building on a highway. Well, you basically can also do it later on, but when you're thinking from the costs, it is way more efficient to just build a building on a free space and not on a highway. on top of an highway. So this is basically what I thought, and we will also be kind of going after this method there. And this actually there, you could have seen me having some struggles with the Ronnie's expressways, and this is also the reason that I would switch them, because it is sometimes kind of weird to place them and it is quite annoying. And this was then the main reason why I said to me, yes, I will just switch this later on and get some other highway set into. And this is the Shuko expressways, I think they're called. I'll have to take a look on Steam to be sure for this, but I think they're called like this. So there I'm starting off with the first on-ramp for the highway, and this was pretty easy, I think, but I had to switch it off later on, so it wasn't that extremely easy, but it is just a very simple going on ramp, and it's nothing like a special thing like a loop, but for the other side of the highway we need a loop to get on correctly. And so I decided, okay, we will do some cool loops. I like them, they're looking very cool, so yes, we will do them. This whole episode is basically me just trying to build something cool in Skylines, but I think it turned out quite well. And this is just something that I had to mention right now that got to my mind. So there is looking at these decals, and they're very cool. We would later on definitely use them for the marking why the people could go fast and could go slow, so this is something that I want to add later on, but this there was just a little test that also didn't work, so yes, the problem kind of was that you couldn't place them on highways, but I think there's an option that enables this, so this shouldn't be a problem for the next episode. So this intersection basically is just serving the whole traffic that's coming from the south into to the east. It will go over the river and it will go right into the end of the map, which means that it will serve the whole area there, and this will be quite an well-used area, I would say. Well-used highway connection, highway junction, I would say. So yes, I will leave you for now. I will rejoin you later when we are detailing the whole area, but I think for now it is quite fine, and I want to say thank you for watching until this point. And if you're new to my channel, I would appreciate if you'd consider subscribing to me. It helps me a lot and it keeps you up to date with what I'm building, so I think it's a win-win situation for both of us, and if you do, thank you. So I will rejoin you in some minutes. Until then, please enjoy the video and see you later. So we are back with some detailing, and right there you can see me making the last curves of this whole area and the whole intersection, and now we'll start off by detailing it. I'm very happy with how it turned out, and I think it is looking also quite realistic, so this is something that I think turned out very well and that I will like to have in my city. So just there making the last intersections, and this is kind of painful sometimes. It is always quite annoying to do them, so this was just kind of proving my point. Okay, I definitely need to switch to another one, kind of like Shuko's expressways. But this was the main thing of building the highways. Thank you for still staying in my video, because this was quite a lot of time that I just made highways. And yes, there I'm just struggling once again. But there we are, detailing finally. And I'm re-detailing this area because I deleted them by mistake. I deleted all the trees on the map, so I had to replace them once again, but this wasn't that much of work, so I think this was quite okay. So yes, right there you can just see me fencing in this area just to get the feeling of a private lot, and then already placing some trees in, some bushes in, just to get it a bit detailed. Because I would also imagine if you would even have the possibility of having a small garden, you would build a lot of small trees and stuff like this in it, just kind of to have a small oasis where you can kind of relax in. And so this was my basic thinking when I detailed this small apartment block that I think it turned out pretty well, pretty great. I'm kind of in love with this look of the buildings, and I think they're looking so cool, so yes, I'm very happy which buildings I took and how I used them. So yes, there I'm just building in some scrubs, because scrubs are always making it kind of better in my opinion and more realistic, because not everyone would have the time to kind of get all the areas, not the detailing, the vegetation and gardening skills that you would need for this, and would have the time to do this. So I just placed in some wild scrubs and stuff like this because I think they're looking pretty cool. And just kind of placing some small lights there, and then we will switch off again to the highway intersection soon. It is just like that I think I love this series so much because I can build something different, because I've built about 6 months only something European, and now I can just build something Asian, so this is an awesome switch for me. And I'm also pretty sure that I'm doing a lot of mistakes for this, but I will be getting better with the time, I think. So there was a short black screen. I'm sorry for this. I don't know why there wasn't black screen, but there was black screen. So I will think I'll edit it out, hopefully. And yes. So there I'm starting off with the detailing. I just placed some bushes in the outcutted thing just to test it, and now we will place the real ones, and there I've got the basics that I will place in the middle of the trees. There's some smaller bushes and then some grass, just to get something kind of a slope going there, and I think this is kind of a cool thing to get and detailing in, and also get a real look in, I would say. And yes, I think I have to say at this point that I'm just loving the detail, because this is one of the most things that I'm doing in my series, is I'm just detailing the nature, and I'm very happy with how the whole thing turned out, and how mostly my things turn out, because I'm often redoing them and just completely destroying them and building them again. This was also the case on this vegetation there. I've built this about 3 or 4 times, but in the end I think it turned out pretty well. The reason why I rebuilt it so often was that I wanted to kind of fit in the theme of a subtropical thing, and that I thought it would be quite cool to have something kind of a small, very dense forest. Because this would be kind of one of the last places for the forest that it could expand into the city. And this was just something that I wanted to get an idea of here, and just kind of let me inspire also by some things that I saw on Tokyo and around Tokyo on the highway intersections. So yes, if you have any questions, or if you want me to kind of build something special, I would appreciate if you'd write it me down in the comments, because then I can answer you, and then I can say yes, I will build this, or no, I won't build this. And this just gives you also the possibility to get your own touch into the city project, and I would love to do this. So yes, write all your ideas please in comments, and thank you for watching once again. And hopefully see you in another episode. Have a great day, and bye.